Alrighty, we're getting it underway. We've got Katt versus Darien. Should be an exciting one. So it's going to be Darien starting out on his rat bow versus Katt on his Setsu for the first match. Wow, the Rock Rivals card coming out from Darien right off the bat, actually. Since he's got Chris Bear and Zhao Long to back him up, he felt like it was time to go, time to send the unit through, but Katt seems to be capitalizing on this. He's got a push created with that free living statue he received.
This could be hard for Darien
this
to
is
deal
so
with.
dangerous. Yeah, that free frenzied living statue, and it's almost game changing.
Oh lord, and the aimbot wasn't safe from the cleaver. The cleaver does take down that aimbot. Darien taking over 1,000 health damage from this one push, it looks like. And there's the Setsu blast coming in. Darien has to do something. It looks like he's about to play his Rock Rivals, which is going to just aggro the living statue. And that's going to be 1,800 damage that Darien took just because of that misplay of the Rock Rivals. He wasn't able to keep it alive and gave his opponent's Katt a whole lot of value.
But now we see that the Rock Rivals is gonna gather up that gradual value just by having a blue golem with taunt for 6 mana. So we'll see how Darien comes back from this.
It's interesting to see Bridge Buddies making an appearance in a Rappo deck, but that's what Darien's running here. He's running it despite the fact that his Rappo perks 1 and 3 do not benefit from Bridge Buddies at all. It's a bit less of a common pick. Oh, that blue golem's going to handle that Setsu no problems, though. That Blast Ministry was a bit unfortunately positioned by Katt there. But Darien's still in an advantageous position. Like I mentioned, in the sideboard, Katt running that Chris Bears, he is well equipped to stop those blue golems from getting further than the bridge, you know. Whereas Darien running his Chris Bear is using it for much more minor bridge grabs, and it's not as advantageous for him in that end. Actually having to Daka down another bat since he doesn't have a better target there. And Katt playing the Setsu defensively will give him the opportunity to build up a push, sends the cleaver top, but Darien should have no problem stopping that with his Rappo perks on hand. Now Rock Rival started off by taking a lot of damage because it's spawned into the Setsu range and the cleaver range. That Chris Bear might not have even been necessary to take it down from Katt.
We're actually seeing a little pushback from Darien. You know, he took 1,800 damage from the start, but now he actually came back from that deficit a lot by doing roughly around 850 damage, while he only took about an extra 100 damage from the beginning.
Right.
So that Rock Rivals is actually able to defend so much health.
Yeah, and since he does have that Rock Rebels and String Scrat in hand almost all the time when he needs it, he's able to answer these Setsu blast entries coming in, and isn't taking as much damage from this aggressive Katt deck as he could have.
I don't think Red can keep this up.
And there it is, almost like clockwork. Once Darien sees that Setsu jump, he immediately answers with the Screaming Scrat Rock Rivals.
Right, but he is still slowly taking damage with those shock rocks and that blast entry damage itself coming in, and being down to 930 right now in health. He's not in such a great position to be tanking those. He's got 2 on the board actually, simultaneously, just because he cycles so fast on this Ratbo deck. Soon he might be able to start overwhelming Katt and retake it, but he is still taking that damage probably more quickly than he wants to be. Oh, and he tried to play the Daka on the Setsu, but he didn't tank the stun blast from Setsu, and so he took a whole lot of damage there. That bush.
Yeah, it almost looks like a little too late on Darien's side, just because he took just so much damage from in the beginning.
Yeah, this match could have very easily gone in Darien's favor from the looks of it, had he not made that early mistake. He's not out of it completely yet. If he's very careful, he could win on this push that he's got going right now. Since Katt is so low in health, if he keeps that blue golem alive all the way to the end of the stage and stops this blast entry from being a game winner right here, he doesn't stop the Setsu from destroying him, and he goes down. He did have the Curse Bear, but just didn't position it correctly. He tried to predict the Setsu drop, but he was just a little bit off, and it made the difference there. The Setsu's able to bring it home for Katt.
Yeah, very good play by Katt, because he's been using that Setsu jump, alternating from up, down, but that last one he put it in the middle. So it definitely threw off Darien and on that play.
Yeah, a good bit of mind games there, and it works out in his favor.
However, it was very, very close. Darien was able to come back with like a huge comeback. Just wasn't there. I mean, Katt was around 500 health, 400 health. Yeah, very good game between these two. Just goes to show you this is a top 4 game, ladies and gentlemen.
Now that Darien's in this position, though, so he does need to be able to answer the Setsu with whatever else he can bring out here. That Rappo didn't quite work for him, but does have the Volco and a Setsu of his own to answer back. I'm imagining he's most likely to pick his own Setsu here as the answer, because he does have some good cards running in it, and can sideboard in that cleaver if he likes. So he's got opportunity here if he wants to take it. And it looks like we're getting in. He's finished up his sideboarding, and we're getting into it. So it's gonna be Katt still on that Setsu, and Darien on Setsu as well is what it ends up being.
Yeah, seeing as how much work that Setsu put in last game for Katt, I really want to see that cleaver come in for Darien. Just being able to clear that Setsu jump every single time, so she barely gets off any shots, is amazing.
Katt's actually taking quite a bit of damage from that warrior and those armored scrites that came through. Already down 700 health, which you don't want to be in that position at the start of a Setsu match before they've even blast entry'd on you. But that is where he is now. Darien's just going to drop the cleaver to deal with the Setsu drop from Katt. Ooh, a musketeer.
Oh wow!
From Katt
Yeah,
makes
the
an
musketeer.
appearance. Something that just slipped through my mind. I wasn't expecting it to come out, but there it is, the musketeer to answer the cleaver.
It's crazy because that musketeer wasn't even in the side. It was initially in Katt's deck.
Yeah. He knew that which is smart thinking with, you know, being a Setsu player, knowing that Cleaver is going to be that instant counter to your Setsu. He's ready with the Musketeer to clap back at him. Or most players would be ready with something like a Scrapboard instead. But the Musketeer won't die as easily to something like a Shockrock or a Daggerfall like Darien is running in his deck.
Blue has obtained perk number 2.
Wow, so Katt's Cleaver actually made it to face, and then we have some of that Cleaver on Cleaver action.
Yeah, Darien's Cleaver winning out in the end just because of the timing and the placement of it. Ooh, the well placed. I love it.
Wow, that's Shockrock.
Me and Darien both knew that Musketeer was going to appear at that same moment, and in sync, me and Darien in sync, we both placed that Shockrock there, and it takes down the Musketeer with the Cleaver hit.
Definitely a team effort by you.
Yeah.
Good job on that, Andy.
Really well done. You know that Musketeer's coming out there though at that same moment, you know. So Katt's got to start pulling out some switch ups with that Musketeer if he doesn't want that to happen. He can't just play it on face that same way every time. See, there it is. There's the first switch up, the Musketeer appearing like that. Oh, beneficial, a Shockrock there. Let's Cleaver tank a hit from Darien's Cleaver. Nicely done, and then nicely placed Daggerfall to finish off the Cleaver as well before the Warrior goes down. So that Warrior's still moving in strong, and a Blast Entry could come out here soon. We don't see it yet, but Darien's holding on to it at the moment.
Yeah, we see that Katt has that XP lead. However, Darien has the HP lead.
Which in a Setsu matchup, that HP is going to make a huge difference towards the end. So I would say Darien's overall probably in the lead of this match, but it could switch at any time. Yeah, Darien's starting to put on the pressure now, so that bridge control could go back in his favor at any time now. Wow, Darien actually didn't have anything in hand to deal with that Cleaver. Now that's two Cleaver cleaves coming out from Katt's Cleaver. Pushes it back with an Illusory Cleaver, nicely done. So he doesn't take that third cleave there, but he's in a pretty bad position there, and his Cleaver's going to go down to some poison before even taking the bridge.
Cleaver, cleave!
Just a mess of removal spells getting thrown out, the Shockrock and the Daggerfall. Oh, that Cleaver took a bit of a hit there from Katt's Cleaver, so not in a great spot health-wise. But he is making an advance on Katt, where he successfully reaches face almost. Not quite. A Morgul does stop him.
Oh, Katt getting faked out by that Illusion Cleaver.
Yeah, he throws down the Musketeer, and it's a bit of a waste for him. Now, Darien has the opportunity to make an advancing Cleaver and Blast Entry play if he wants. There it is. There's the Cleaver coming through top with the Blast Entry going down bottom. But Katt goes for an aggressive play because he knows the Cleaver's gone from Darien's hand. But Katt goes down to the Cleaver. GG. It's going to be Darien taking it back in game 2.
Yeah, I feel like in that situation, Katt knew it was like a all or nothing play. he didn't have the Musketeer to counter that cleaver, so he just went all in.
Yeah, he was in a tough spot. You know, he could have stunned that cleaver of Darien's with his perk 3 blast, but he didn't go for it. Instead, he wanted to go for the aggressive option, and it didn't pay off for him. Now we'll see what Katt can do in response to this Setsu. He does have access to his Volco and his Mordar. Generally, Volco might be the pick here because he does have that Stun Lancers ready to go, and he'll be burning down Darien slowly throughout the match and might be able to counter that aggression Setsu by, using its aggression of its own. He does also have some options though with that Mordar, especially with the Rock Rivals in it. That'll answer up the cleaver and all the combos coming out of the Setsu. Although it didn't really work out in Darien's favor when he tried to use his Rock Rivals versus Katt, so he might be wary of going that route. Instead, we'll just go down the Volco.
Yeah, so the score's tied 1-1. Now, reminder, guys, this is a best of 5. Best of 5.
Right, so Katt may be able to take back the win here with his counter pick, but again, then Darien still has an option beyond that because it is a best of 5 series. This isn't a best of 3 as we've seen before. So it's still anybody's match at this point, right? The players have finished up their sideboarding and putting their decks back together, getting into the next one. So Darien, of course, still on that Setsu, and Katt does go down that route, playing that Volco as we expected from him. That is going to be his answer to this Volco, or to the Setsu. And now we'll have to see if Darien made any sideboarding changes anticipating the Volco, as he may have had the option to do so here. It does seem like he's going to have some advantageous bridge grabbing in this match from what we've seen so far. And a cleaver from Katt makes an appearance a little bit early on, so he won't have that for the first blast entry most likely, unless he's able to cycle quickly enough. Ooh, now Darien doesn't have an answer to block that cleaver, so the aggressive cleaver did work out in Katt's favor here. Now Katt does have that perk 1 and has control of his bridge, so now's where he could start laying on a little bit of pressure to prevent Darien's later aggression. And with his superior bridge control we've seen so far, he is in a good spot. Darien, though, taking a lot of damage. What's he gonna do to answer this? He does get that bridge back momentarily, but we'll see it going back to Katt here shortly, most likely. But a real cleaver comes through from Darien. Katt expected it to be an illusory, most likely, but it is a real cleaver and is getting answered by Katt's Flightless Dragons now.
Yeah, this deck that Katt brought in with the Volco just has such a low mana cost average that like he has answers for almost anything that Darien does.
Darien surprisingly has not thrown out a single blast entry yet. He's at 47 XP with 2 minutes in the match, over 2 minutes in the match, and he still hasn't blast entried once. And so he's actually, it feels like he might have been missing out on some opportunity here to make an aggressive push. But he's really just waiting for that moment, it seems, where he can get a high value, just one high value aggressive push. He is probably worried about that cleaver immediately taking care of it, so...
Oh no, we do see the cleaver in Katt's hand, but Darien has his cleaver of his own. And there it is, the cleaver from Katt instantly answering Darien's Setsu bounce.
Yeah, so it does work out. It does actually end up working out for Katt. He's able to stop that whole push with very few expenses. Darien, of course, also having very few expenses since blast entry itself is a pretty cheap card. But it does work out favorably for Katt there. Darien really doesn't have any strong removal for these flightless dragons, so they're able to just walk straight to face with almost no opposition and do a whole lot of damage. Darien already down to 689, not where you want to be against a Volco 3 minutes into the match. This is looking like it's likely to go Katt's way unless Darien can make one really big aggressive push just happen out of nowhere. Really nice play by Katt, responding to that Dragon Whelp and everything. He's doing everything in the right order that he needs to do to answer Darien's defenses. Again, that Blast Entry has only been played once so far, so Darien's just being extremely conservative with it. He doesn't feel like he can ever play it safely. He's going to play it to remove some Plasma Marines, but he's expecting the Cleaver to come out and doesn't do anything to follow it up. Now that Dragon Whelp didn't get answered from Darien by Katt this time, and so oh no, oh, Katt actually lands the Cleaver on phase. Almost had lethal if he had received that perk 3 just a moment sooner. With that perk 3 it would have been game, but there it is. He takes the bridge and lands one more afterburner shot, and that's it. Katt takes it and is now in the lead 2-1 in the set. So as we predicted, that Volco, it was favorable for Katt to bring out there. Gives him the lead. Now Darien's got to come back from this. He does still have 2 masters to choose from. Either he can play his Volco himself or his Ratbo. It'll be interesting to see what he picks here. Or no, sorry about that. He's already played 2 of these masters. He's played the Ratbo and the Setsu. So now he has to play his Volco now. Just to give you guys a quick update while we're waiting for Katt and Darien to finish their last bit of sideboarding. Acer and Florian were the ones who advanced from winners bracket round 3. So Acer took his set 2-1 over Grey Wolf in round 3, and Florian took his set 2-0 over Video Gamer, and so those 2 players were able to advance. And that's who else is currently playing in the round 4, also known as the semifinals of the winners bracket right now. All right, would you get into it? Now we see the Volco versus Volco mirror match coming out. I'd like to believe that Darien has the advantage here, based on what I've seen in his deck. But a misplaced Zhao Long puts him in a bad spot to start off the match. So he's got another bat on his face that he needs to answer. So he's already a little bit behind in XP just because he had to spend so much mana there. Fortunately, those Propeller Scraps are able to clean up a Dragon Whelp as well, so he does get the value from them a little bit more. An interesting play, Darien flying the real Cleaver from pocket against Katt. We'll see if he gets the payoff. He's going to see a lot of opposition from Katt going for a move like that. The bridges staying in Katt's favor. This is really going poorly for Darien so far, actually. Darien playing as soon as he has mana every time. He's not able to save up any mana or bank any mana immediately. He hit 2 mana and then played those Propeller Scrats without having to think about it, or not having time to think about it because he's being so pressured right now.
Yeah, right now I'm not really seeing what Darien can use to push his Cleaver through. Just because Katt just has so many low-cost minions that he'll be able to stall that Cleaver every time he crosses the bridge.
Now Darien's starting to get in an okay position, but Katt is ahead in mana, and so Katt can take back control of this at any moment he's ready to. Darien, of course, was able to get a chance to regain some mana there as well, but I don't think it'll work out as well for him, given that he keeps losing these bridges after each of these trades here. the players did get different marked bridges this game. Sometimes in Volco mirror matches, you do see them fighting over the same bridge, but here they do have the advantage of having their own bridge. We'll see who it works out better for in this match. Katt has more splitting minions than Darien does for sure, so it does seem like he has more global map control than we see from Darien. But Darien is getting burned down faster than Katt is. But this is a good push from Darien here. Very favorable for Darien, actually. That cleaver is able to cleave face with nothing answering it yet still. And a really good dagger fall from Darien to clean up that illusory cleaver before it stops the cleaver.
Oh my gosh, that cleaver just keep on going.
Big. Katt's down to 430. The match isn't quite over for him yet, but he does start out the GG because he believes so. The ping's coming through from Darien's afterburner. Surprisingly, he plays this polish catch before he controls the bridge. He could have hammered in some more damage, and there it is. He's going to land the shock rocket daggerfall to finish it off. There it is. A little bit of misplays from Katt. He drops the game suddenly, where he was in such an advantageous position before. A misplay against an aggressive deck from Darien, spells trouble. So it's going to be 2-2, and Katt's going to have the opportunity to counterpick here or not necessarily counterpick, but will be on the Mordor deck, which I think is a good deck to handle this Volco. So Katt could be in a good spot here, being able to bring out, just with the order that the Masters worked out in this set. I think Katt got the top end of it, in my opinion. So he'll be looking to bring out this Bara and Rock Rivals based Mordor here. And yeah, we'll see who takes it from here.
Now, interestingly enough, in Katt's deck list, I want to see him keep that Nether Step. I see it, and now I want it.
Yeah, he's got it in there. It'll be interesting what he's running it for. I mean, he's got the reboomer in there, so maybe he's going for some really sneaky strategies to, just to deliver that explosion in. But we don't know necessarily what he's thinking of. I mean, a delivered reboomer is pretty much the same strength as like a Scrytillery, so and it'll come back to life afterwards if it's protected. So, but yeah, that Nether Step is an interesting pick. You don't see that often in Mordors. So. Alrighty, here it is. Katt's on that Mordor. We'll see what he can do. There's the Volco from Darien, though. Starting off taking the bridges. Some early mana expense, and now he's got a Whelp coming at him. Interesting that Darien actually just plays the warrior into the fire and takes a good bit of damage there, but I guess he just didn't want to risk that Fire and Preaching face and didn't have anything else to block with. A preemptive Shock Rock comes out from Darien, but it's going to go to waste since he didn't anticipate the Curse Bear coming out from Katt there. Ooh, a Rock Rebel's coming out from Katt now, and it's a good setup from Darien with the Curse Bear and the Succubus going. The Cleaver's not able to land onto the Succubus, so instead it's going to be Succubus still going, and the Living Statue goes down while the Rock Rival's still up. There it is. Katt's gotten the advantage. He was able to get his Rock Rivals off and was able to resurrect it too with his Tombstone. This is going really well for Katt so far.
Oh man. The Nether Step was taken out of Katt's deck.
Fireball from Katt to deal with that That Dragon Whelp should put an end to that, and the blue golem is still advancing. Now, generally, most would consider Volco versus Mordar to be in an advantageous position for Volco to be in, but I can believe that with this Rock Rivals based deck, that Katt has the right deck to answer the Volco of Darien.
Yeah, the Mordor definitely puts Darien in a difficult position because it makes Darien want to use the Shock Rock on either the Tombstone or use it on a push or defending. So Katt's Tombstones makes Darien have to play smart using his Shock Rock.
Yeah, it looks like it's about to be another another res for the Rock Rivals here, since he did use that Shock Rock on the push, like you're talking about. And another push is created. There's a blue golem and a succubus coming in. Darien's having a little bit of trouble answering them each time. Fireball comes out from Katt. Doesn't even want to put up with those plasma marines. Ooh, the shock rock comes out, but not fast enough from Darien. So that Dragon Whelp is going to go down, and that blue golem still advances and is ready to be resurrected again. The same blue golem that just got resurrected last time.
Oh man, now we got double the blue golems, double the fun up there.
And the Scrat Tank too, it's not looking good. Not what you want to see if you're Darien. The warrior placement doesn't come out fast enough to save the cleaver. So that blue golem still charges on through. That Scrat Tank's definitely reaching face because Darien just can't stop it in its tracks.
Yeah, Darien's trying his best to fight back, but Katt's just getting so much value out of these tombstones, getting those 5+ mana revive.
Darien is able to force a Dragon Whelp res, but in this case, that works out favorably for Katt, since he's on Volco and had those 2 flying units ready to go down to it there. And now it's frenzied, so that could be game. That Whelp's just going to end it. GG, and Katt takes it 3-2 in the set. Well done by Katt.